Welcome back to the ANZ Stadium here in Suva for the World Rugby Pacific Challenge 2015. The first match coming up will be between Japan A and Tonga A, and both sides, they met last Wednesday, in the final round of the pool stages, where Tonga won 60 points to 24. Here's the Japanese side. The captain for this match is the hooker, Kosuke Horikoshi. There he is. And also watch out for big Tevita Tatafu, the Tongan player, 18 years old, and also the outside center, inside center rather, another Tongan player, Ataata Moare Kiora, and also the fullback, Ozaki. There is no sign of the first 5'8", who played well last week, and maybe he'll come off the bench, but he's not in the bench as well. So we expect a very tough and determined Japan side, Frank.
Right, and a Japanese side who had a very good fundamentals, excellent organization on second phase play, and they had a very strong scrum who put to the task the Tongan side. So therefore it's a very, very impressive and very technical Japanese side that we have.
Here's the Tongan lineup. Akimeta Feao, still the skipper. He started in all the matches so far, and he was the leader for this Tongan side. And also to Apakuki Maafu, outside center, another player who's played in all the matches so far for Tonga as well. And Frank Avea, the number 8, he's there as well. And also Samuela Fiafia, the winger, and Siale Talakai, who scored 2 tries against Japan last week, is there as well. So Tonga, very powerful lineup as well against this junior Japan side. And Tonga, they have been coached by former Ikali flanker Isileli Fatani.
Right, Tonga will have to stay very focused. It's very hard to go on a rematch. Having won quite easily a game, okay, will be very, very difficult maybe from this psychological side to stay tuned and to stay on a high. But we know the pride that Tonga have in their jersey, in their colors, and in their country. So therefore, I'm sure that Tonga is going to have a fine performance this afternoon here in Suva.
Well, the Tongans rather. The Japanese have made a last-minute change to their lineup. It's Hiroto Kato. Hiroto Kato will be at blindside flanker for the Tongans, for the Japanese rather, instead of Kosuke Urabe. So that's the last-minute change by the Japanese side. Well, some fans have turned up here at the ANZ Stadium, and this is the two sides. Tonga A up against Japan A. The skipper there in front, Akimeta Feao on the left for Tonga, and the hooker Kosuke Horikoshi leads them out for the first game, the 5th place playoff, World Rugby's Pacific Challenge 2015. Tonga A up against the Japan A side, Frank.
Right, and the challenge again for the Japanese team will be the physical part of the game. Okay, in all the games they played so far here in Suva, they had a big problem with the impact. That is, on the tackling, they miss a lot of tackles, and therefore they have no choice. That's because they have a deficit of size and a deficit of strength. So therefore, the deficit of size and strength, the only way they can compensate is by coming up real high in defense and not letting the Tongans, or run at them. As soon as they stay in their track and they let the Tongan players run at them and get some momentum, they tend to miss the tackles, and therefore everything open up for them inside their defense. So that's a main issue in that game there. It's a mismatch in physical strength and in size. And for Japan, they know the answer, that is, they cannot leave any space to the Tongan runners if they want to stay into that game.
Well, the referee is Petelo Kelekolio. There's the referee from Samoa.
And as far as Tonga is concerned, I think their main challenge in the game, as we said earlier, is mainly psychological, to stay focused, to stay concentrated, to respect the game. That will be their main challenge. Right, and also another one will be quite interesting that we were very impressed with in the last encounter was the scrum, where the Tongan scrum was totally dominated by the small Japanese scrum. Okay, and that's one thing I will think that the Tongans are going to focus on and try to correct from the last game.
Captain Reid.
We welcome all our viewers around Fiji, Pacific, and also around the globe through the live stream on World Rugby, and we welcome you wherever you are joining us from. And Tonga with the early possession with their skipper Akimeta Feao. Out it comes now for Samumuna, the halfback. Ratu Apakuki, out it comes Sosaya Palei. And now Talakai scored 2 tries last week. Still there for Mauna. Out it comes for the Tongans. It's Hui. Feao Hui, the first 5-8 there he is again. And the Tongans, miscommunication there. But still coming through is the skipper Akimeta Feao, wearing the number 4 jersey there. They spin it out wide, the Tongans, they've got numbers. Out it comes. And here's Talakai, chip through, and safely at the back is Ozaki, the fullback, but didn't have any other option there, that Ishuro Ozaki.
So early in the game, Tonga spread the ball out wide, probably to get away from the inside defense from Japan, which was quite well organized, and Japan didn't come up hard enough and high enough, especially on the outside, and that enabled Tonga to spread the ball out wide twice in a row and finally find the gap and the space on the left side of the field there. Now it's an excellent position there for Tonga on this line out.
Witiora Tuifua finds his keeper, Feao. And now the Tongans, they are just 5 out from the try line. Here's the drive. They can go over here, the Tongans. Less than 2 minutes gone in the first half. And that's the first try. Not even 2 minutes up on the clock, and the Tongans have scored. Ratu Apakuki Maafu.
So very fast scoring from Tonga, but you will see that on his driving mode it's very well played. They saw that in the middle he was blocked. The defense of Tonga was well organized, nice and low and tight, and therefore, because there was pressure in the middle, they decided to roll it out to the left. Okay, the very good initiative there, and that's an easy try. Okay, so therefore they played the rolling model extremely well there, first putting pressure in the middle. Okay, and once the defense was fixed in the middle, you will see that they're going to roll out to the left side, okay, or the right side of Tonga, and that's a very good kinetics sensations there from the Tongan forward pack.
Well, the try was scored by Frank Havea, the open side flanker, and it's been converted by Viliame Mai. So the Tongans lead by 7 points to 0. So Frank Havea scores the first try for the Tongans.
That's not very good for Japan, because as we spoke about in the last game, it is very, very important they try to stay in the game, so therefore they don't concede tries early in the game. And it's now extremely important that Japan doesn't let Tonga score again. If not, they may be very, very, very long day for them.
It was 60 points to 24 the last time these two met in favor of Tonga. William Mavai decides to fire it downfield. And with the counter-attack is Ozaki, the fullback. Supported by Shogo Miura. Miura still going. Tough customer, this Miura, the tight head prop. Going over the advantage line is the Tongan player, Moare Kiora. Referee playing advantage, but now the Tongans will be penalized.
For an intentional knock-on. So it could also be a yellow card, but the referee just is content with just a penalty. So very good counter-attack there from Japan, who took the middle of the field and then after that had two options, either left and right. Okay, and so they see that on a ball that was given back by Tonga, they didn't kick back, but they tried to keep the ball in their hands, okay, by attacking the center of the field and then providing their halfbacks two options. Now we saw that in the last game the lineouts were a big problem for Japan, and it still is.
There's Kozuke Horikoshi, the skipper for Japan. He failed to find his mark on that occasion, and that's still the same problem from the last match against Tonga. And they will try very hard in this match, the young Japanese side, to make amends and also find their rhythm in this match, as the Tongans have the early lead, 7 points to nil through a try to the open side flanker Frank Javier.
So we have a different hooker, a different thrower for Japan, but there's still the same issue in the line out of accuracy. And I'm afraid that on this line out it was a pretty difficult throw because he went at the back right away. And maybe in order to give some confidence to that hooker, Japan should have elected to go for an easy throw, either at 2 or 4, instead of going right away at the back. Anyhow, this is the first scrum, and it will be we're going to watch carefully to see if Japan is going to dominate as much as they did in the last game.
It's Muna, Samiu Muna, the halfback, Tongan halfback.
Fine. Sit.
It's a Tongan throw-in just outside their 22-meter line, Tonga. But look at the Japanese scrum, just the same as the one, their scrum in the first match. There's the big Tongan, Ataata Moarikiora. And now it comes again for Japan. Ozaki, the fullback, joining in. Now it comes for Nagajima. Going over the 22-meter line is Tomosuke Saita. Out it comes again, the little playmaker, Kanai. But they've knocked it through, and now it's a penalty to Japan. Again, the Japanese scrum so strong like they did last week, and they're going to take a quick tap. Daiki Nagajima. Yuki Okada, the outside center. And now, out it comes out again for the open side winger, Seiya Ozaki. Quick thinking by the Japanese and great work as well by the little halfback Daiki Nagajima.
This is exactly what Japan needed to go back to the score there. This is very good news for Japan there. It all started from the scrum that was willed by the tight head prop. He was so powerful there, the tight head prop from Japan, and they provided a good platform for first phase attack. And then they did the right thing, Japan there, that is play the quick tap instead of going to touch, because as we have seen earlier, they have huge problems in the line out, so they solved that by just playing the quick tap, which is a clean ball with 10 meters to run, which is a great option. And then they took advantage of a blindside winger from Tonga, who didn't stay in his channel, and therefore the inside playmaker from Japan played very well by putting in the space his winger.
And the two wingers, Hirofumi Higashikawa and Seiya Ozaki, combining well for Japan and resulting in that try to Ozaki. The conversion coming up, and it's just out to the left and upright. Conversion missed by Tetishiro Ozaki, the fullback, so the scores remain 7 points to 5. Here's the two wingers. There's Hirofumi Higashikawa, linking up well with the open side winger Seiya Ozaki. The first try for the Japanese.
And Seiya Ozaki had very narrow channel there, and in spite of that he managed to sneak through and finished off very well.
Also, welcome. We would like to welcome and say a big mbulavinaka to our viewers in Japan through World Rugby's live stream. Japan 5, Tonga A7. Japanese side from deep inside their own 22. Hikosuke Urabe, the open side flanker. But a penalty will be given to Tonga now, just a meter inside the Japanese 22. Siosifa Pole. Out it comes again for the Tongans. If they recycle this quickly, they can go over on the right side. But it's Lotte Tuipolotu being cut short by Kozuke Horokushi. And great counteracting by Japan as well. But not according to the law, says the referee.
Yeah, they didn't stay on their feet, says the referee.
Michael Tonga. What a beautiful name. And he has knocked it through. And now Japan, just 5 meters out from their own try line. There's the try scorer, Seiya Ozaki.
And Japan so far does not use any exit strategy, that is trying to kick the ball out. Okay, there's 2 balls they got inside the 22. They keep running. Maybe on this occasion, yes, they finally kick it out to stay out of their 22. But they almost played very dearly. Okay, their intention to play the ball inside their 22 on the kickoff, and they get away there with easily. This is really very lucky there that the Tonga has dropped the ball right on the goal line. So if Japan lucked out, all right, at least Tonga maybe should show a bit more patience there on the goal line and try to control that ball a bit more.
Good clearing kick as well by Ata Moare Kiora, the Tongan player wearing the number 12 jersey for Japan. Still 7 points to 5. Tonga leading. 2 tries already through Frank Avea for Tonga and Seiya Ozaki for Japan. It comes totally missed by Akimeta Feao, the Tongan captain. And now the big second 5-8. Ata Moare Kiroa. Tatisuro Ozaki. Not a good clearing kick by Ozaki. But still they're not out of the danger zone yet. As Tonga will have to mount another attack here.
But a big mistake there by the outside center of Japan there. We should have fixed his man and passed to his outside backs who were totally open. And instead he elected to go back inside, and that results in a very poor clearance. So an opportunity lost there for Japan to run the length of the field. You see there, they have trouble to control their tackle, to make their tackles, because they are leaving too much space to the runners. And those runners are able to break the tackles and to cross the advantage line and win their one-on-one.
For Tuloko Tui, and now the skipper Akimeta Feao, just 5 meters out, still going. Akimeta, the hooker with Iora Tuifua, just 2 meters short. And they can score again. Ratu Apakuki Maafu slices through. Another try to the Tongans. Through Ratu Apakuki Maafu, the younger brother of Kempizi Maafu, the flying Fijians prop forward, and also Salesi Maafu, the former Wallabies prop forward. That's his first try of the tournament, Ratu Apakuki Maafu, and it was a great build-up by the Tongans, started by the skipper Akimeta Feao, and then it was Witiora Tuifua, and it was finished off by Ratu Apakuki Maafu.
Yeah, but on this try, I'm afraid there was an obstruction from Tongan players that prevented the inside defense to go and tackle Mahafu. So if we look at the replay, you will see that there is an obstruction that the referee has missed, and that stopped the inside defenders from going to Mahafu. In spite of that, okay, before that in the build-up we saw that there were just too many tackles missed, too many gaps left to the Tongan runners, and Japan need absolutely to tighten up their defense and come up harder.
Williami Mavai converts the try.
We can see on the replay there, you will see the inside defenders. We cannot go to Mahafu because You see, they're there. And the referee has missed that.
There's the try to Ratu Apakuki Ma'afu, so the Tongans extend the lead to 14 points to 5. Again, restart by Taisetsu Kanai. But it's been tapped by the Tongan player in this Japan outfit, Devita Tatafu. But the referee said no, he was knocked forward by the Tongans, by the Japanese first, before Tatafu tapped it.
Good contest there on a kickoff, but unfortunately what we call the third wave of attack did not control the ball at all. Okay, too many players won a first wave of attack, and maybe the Japanese forwards want to organize a bit better there on those kickoffs who are well contested and well kicked.
Samiu Muna for Tonga. Another scrum feed to the Tongans. Just half a meter out from the halfway line.
Look at the tight head side of Japan there, who's totally destroying his man there, and the scrum wheels towards the right.
Out it comes again for the Tongans on the open side. That's a great handoff by Siale Talakai. Rather, that's Samuela Fiafia, and breaking through is Hui, the playmaker. The try scorer there is Frank Havea. Goes over the 22-meter line inside Japan's territory. Now Miuna again, coming towards the open side with Sosaya Palei at outside center. They have to organize themselves, Tonga, Viliame Mavai. Muna again. And then Hui, the first 5-8 riding sideways, finds the big lock forward, Michael Tonga.
Yeah, but Hui, by running sideways, is trying to open up gaps for his runner, and that's what he does here very well there, because he confuses a little bit the defense with his runs and having variations.
Siosifa Pole, Havea. Goes over the 22-meter line, pops it up well for Viliame Mavai again. The number 8 there is for Tulokotui, but knocked it through Ozaki, the fullback. Counter attack by Ozaki, he's broken through. Ozaki, that's a great step as well from Ozaki, but knocked it through in the process. Great counter attack by Tetsuro Ozaki. And now it's Tonga again, Frank Havea. On the short side, he will be bundled into touch, but he left the ball in field. Still play on, says the referee. Siale Talakai. Havea at halfback. And Hui. Now it comes again, Siosifa Pole. Now it's Talakai, the open side winger. Finds a little gap. Feao Akimeta, the skipper. Ratu Apakuki Ma'afu. Michael Tonga again. Goes over the 10-meter line.
There was a very long sequence of play, very long, with 2-3 turnovers, and unfortunately none of the teams have been able. But do you see there that the players are, looking for their oxygen there? Okay, they're very tired. That's a long sequence of play, who's going to have a consequence for the next phase of play there.
There was great break by Tetsuro Ozaki.
Yeah, but he was looking desperately for support and couldn't find any. And it's a shame, or maybe he should have maybe just be patient and slow down and look for the support. But he was well trapped and well encircled by the red players. So you see there, Tonga, even though they enjoyed a lot of possession, they cannot find the opening in a Japanese defense. And I'm afraid because the players are just too spread out. Okay, and they have no backup players in order to support when there is a half break or something like that. Okay, in order to suck in the Japanese defense. Right now they are playing a wall against wall. It is a spread out attack against a spread out defense, and that is why they have a hard time to go forward, the Tongan teams.
Samiu Muna, the halfback. It's controlled at the back there by Tulokotui.
Better resistance from a loose head from Tonga there.
Still Lokotui, Muna again, and the standing off is with Yora Tuifua. Great leg drive as well by Tuifua. And on it comes to Michael Tonga. Josefo Pole, but lost it through. And now Japan, another counterattack from inside the 22. And there is rather it's not Ozaki, it's Higashikawa. Here it comes again, the open side flanker, Hikosuke Urabe. And now, oh, that's a timing hit on the prop forward Kakimoto. Moare Kiora running out wide is Hiroko Kato. Goes over the 10-meter line inside Tonga's territory. Great build up, good build up by the Japanese. Kosuke Hirokoshi, the hooker. And now the Japanese trying to regroup and settle down and also organize themselves. Here's the skipper, Kosuke Horikoshi. Good clean up by the Japanese as well. A chip kick through by the first 5'8", Kanai, but it was taken well by the Tongan fullback Viliame Mavai. The Tongans arrive, the support arrives in numbers for Tonga, and they have to help the first 5'8", Hui. Siale Talakai, rather Viliame Mavai. Goes for the box kick. Well fielding for Japan is Higashikawa. Lined up by the skipper for Tonga, Akimeta Feao. Still in there for Japan, Nagajima. Knocked backwards. It's been turned over by Tonga.
And
knocked through by Japan. Scrappy play, Frank. Yeah, but Japan, they look promising when they have possession.
And another very long phase of play, okay, I think was going to really hurt the players in terms of fatigue. Okay, but so far both teams can seem to find the opening in the opposition defense. But indeed, the Japanese team is extremely well organized on a second phase, right? But their balls are a bit too slow to come out, and because the balls are slow to come out, it helps the Tongan defense to get realigned. And also they come up quite well, Tonga in defense, leaving them not much space. I was surprised also that the left winger for Tonga did not call the mark on this kick there, right? And then we had a pretty good fight there at the rocks, close to the goal, to the touchline, and Tonga has won that rock battle there thanks to their size and strength.
Still 14 points to 5. The Tongan fans, as always, as they did 3 weeks ago, coming to support their fans. And also some Fiji Warriors fans are here, out early to support these two teams, Tonga A and Junior Japan.
Okay, so we're 20 minutes into the game, and Japan is still in the game, only something like 9 points behind, which is very important for the interest that we want to bring to that game. Right, it's important that Japan stay not too far from a scoreline of Tonga. Okay, that they keep up with the score, and so far so good for Japan. We had a pretty good phases of play there, with good continuity.